I'm Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle, and you're watching Taped with Rabbi Doug.
We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug on your TV tonight. But Daddy, I want to watch Monday Night Football.
Forget about Monday Night Football. There's no other thing we're going to watch on Monday but Rabbi Doug.
Yeah, Rabbi Doug on TV tonight. We're going to see Rabbi Doug. Oh, everybody talk about Doug.
Shalom, welcome to Taped with Rabbi Doug. We are here at the America-Israel Chamber of Commerce dinner, and we are about to honor two very special people. Why don't you just tell us briefly, Bea and Yakov, who they are?
I'd love to. We're honoring Beatrice Crain mailing. Bea is a woman, one of the major philanthropists in Chicago. Her Crain Mailing Foundation has given a lot of money to support the synagogue free for friends of refugees of Eastern Europe. Big funder of the Chicago Symphony, youth programs, a wonderful woman, formerly of the Feinberg Foundation, who gave a lot of support to Northwestern University and their medical centers.
Among other many places.
Yes, exactly. And then we're also honoring Yakov Yarmove, who's the ethnic marketing manager for Super Value, which owns Albertson Stores, Jewel-Osco. And Yakov's the man responsible for putting kosher sections into the Jewel stores around the country.
And the two kosher delis in Highland Park in Evanston, Illinois as
Absolutely.
Well. This is great.
And he's the reason I can buy Osborn wafers for my little daughters.
That's right.
Love them so much.
That's right. And I want to introduce this man. This is Dan Shure. He's the president of the America-Israel Chamber of Commerce. How did you get involved in the Chamber of Commerce?
You know, I had a mentor, Ralph Gidwitz, who took me from one organization to another. So I was first on the Partnership 2000 Committee of Federation, and then on the Federation Board, and through that, I was president of Jewish National Fund in Chicago. Then they brought me on to America's Israel Chamber of Commerce, which is an organization I particularly love because I love business, I love Israel. It brought all my interests together in one place.
Great. Well, I want to thank you and congratulate you.
Rabbi Doug, thanks for being here this evening.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, and thanks for being with us. Join us now as we go to see these two honorees, and join us at the dinner at the America-Israel Chamber of Commerce right here on Tape with Rabbi Doug. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
This is Daniel Shure, President of the America-Israel Chamber of Commerce.
Briefly. I get it. So I took my remarks from last year and I cut them in half. Good evening. Thank you for being here. It's honoring the achievements of Bea Crain Mailing and Yakov Yarmove. It's been my privilege to serve these last 2 years as President of the America-Israel Chamber of Commerce, Chicago. For 53 years, we've served the Chicago and the Midwest Chamber of Commerce with Israel, the only organization around here solely dedicated to increasing bilateral trade with Israel. We're a membership-based organization. We have a staff of 1. But through our 300 members or so and our extensive network of friends, we get a lot done. Without our members, we would not be able to accomplish a thing. If you're not a member, join tonight. There's membership material on your table. It's inexpensive, and you'll find you get a big bang for your buck. This annual awards dinner is a lifeline of the Chamber. It's our primary economic driver. We thank you for supporting our organization, our mission. We thank you for supporting our dinner, and we especially thank you for choosing to take your time tonight and spend your time with us this evening. Thank you.
Yehi Ratzon. May it be your gracious will to grant all the participants of this hallowed assembly health of body, peace of mind, and purity of spirit, so they may advance these vital works from strength to greater strength. O God, crown their noble efforts with renewed success, so that they achieve not only economic ends, but spiritual and humanitarian ends as well, thereby effectuating peace, stability, and tranquility for all of Israel, and by extension, for all of mankind. May we behold the day envisioned by our prophets, when nation will no longer lift sword against nation. On that day, there will be a hunger and thirst throughout the land, but the hunger will not be for bread, nor will the thirst be for water. Ki'im lishmeya dvar Hashem, but to hear and to yearn for the word of God. Eisa shalom b'mreimov, he who makes peace on high. Uyasa shalom aleinu, may he make peace for us. Val kol Yisrael, for all of Israel. Ve'imro amen.
Amen.
And let us all say amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Rabbi. And tonight's keynote speaker, is an extraordinary man, William Osborn. Mr. Osborn saw Northern Trust Bank through the darkest hours of the financial crisis as a shepherd to see it emerge, and today serves as the chairman of Northwestern University and on the Special Advisory Council to Kellogg School of Management, and serves on the board of directors of Abbott Laboratories, General Dynamics, and myriad civic and charitable organizations. Bill, if you'd like to just stand for a moment.
Thank you very much, Mike. And it's really my pleasure to be here tonight. The American Israel Chamber of Commerce has done a remarkable job in promoting free trade. It's not just about free trade between Israel and the United States. It's free trade overall. And that message is one that needs to get out there more and more. And you are ones to take it forward, because I think if you look at the strength of Israel and what Israel has been able to do for a country, is part of that partnership and that free trade aspect that's really been a key driver for the economic success of Israel. So I congratulate the Chamber here for the great work that they have done also. I spent a little time with Lonnie and with Michael and with me, and we were trying to figure out what are you all interested in, and what can I help you, in terms of maybe some of my background. And I worked as 40 years in the financial services sector. I saw an awful lot during that period. I've also, as Lonnie mentioned, I'm on the board of two of the companies, all three of the companies, General Dynamics, Abbott, and Caterpillar, have significant relationships and involvement in Israel. But more importantly, two of them, Abbott and Caterpillar, are very, very global companies. And my involvement with both those companies has been pretty deep in terms of their engagement globally. And I've been very involved with a lot of their expansion in terms of how they're thinking about the world today and what they want to do in terms of commerce and how they can lead for some of the change. In fact, if you look at the recent agreement in Congress and passed by the President for the free trade agreements for South Korea and Panama and Colombia, it was really Caterpillar that pushed that through. They're the ones that really made that happen. And it kind of gets to the point that I think all of us need to understand is that we are in a world of over 7 billion people, and we have a little over 300 million in the United States. So we have 4.5% of the world's population. And if you really think about competing in the world today, you can't look at the U.S. as being the primary market you're going to serve. You're going to have to look globally if you're going to be successful, as any corporation wants to be. And I would just tell you that you need to connect with that, as any country needs to do. You need to change the tax system. Now, I do the other things first, but you need to change the tax system. We need to go to a territorial system. We need to simplify our tax code. Many of us may need to pay more. I don't mind that, but you need to do that later when you've been able to work through these others. But you need to make certain you're being there effective. And you need to address Social Security, Medicare, pensions. You need to put the retirement age up. My God, we made the retirement age at 65 back when life expectancy was much, much lower than it is today. Move it up to where it belongs. You have to do that. Otherwise, you're killing everybody. So, anyway, if you embrace the world, they love us. They really do. Embrace the world, make a few changes. I think we can come out of this. But again, I congratulate the American Israel Chamber of Commerce for your leadership in the area of free trade. The world needs you. Thank you.
Consul General Orli Gil.
I would like to congratulate the two honorees, and the rest of you, I would like really to thank you for being here tonight, because I guess that shows how interested you are in Israel, in its economy, in the possibilities of having connections to Israel, economic connections and others. So thank you all for being here. I'm looking forward to the new year that would start, let's say the year that starts in January, to be another very good year of cooperation between Israel and the Midwest, between Israel and Chicago. We have a few representatives going from the Midwest going to Israel in the coming month to the WATEC big conference. I hope it would carry on some developments as well. And let's hope that in addition to the wonderful evening here, the Chamber would help us in the coming year as well to advance this cooperation. Thank you and have a good evening.
First, we will be honoring my longtime friend and mentor, Beatrice Goldberg Crain. You can also see she's tall like me too.
It is impossible for anybody to really be deserving of all those accolades, but I think sincerely and deeply, and I do love you. It's really a pleasure and a true honor to be here tonight. And I also want to thank everybody who has been on the dinner committee, all the staff, all the hard work that people have done to make this evening possible. Lonnie, my son Michael, and all the people who stood behind this, I thank you tremendously, and I also thank the other honoree. I wish you well in all your endeavors. And the Chamber of Commerce, the American Israel Chamber of Commerce, has done a remarkable job and hopefully will continue to do so for many years to come. And now I would like to tell you a little story about how I happened to be here. Before the turn of the last century, well over 100 years ago, a young teenage boy by the name of Sam Goldberg came from Russia to America. About the same time, a man and his wife, Rabbi Ferdinand and his wife, came with their family, and one of the children was Eva, little Eva Ferdinand. Sam Goldberg and Eva Ferdinand met, married, and had 4 children, Louis, Barney, Francis, and Beatrice. And they had a very lovely, beautiful, happy home, and the mother always had a gorgeous table, delicious food, and one thing she always remembered, and that was to invite somebody who lived alone to dinner every night at our table. And after we discussed the current events of the day, the very first thing that went on was what was happening at the Marks Nathan Orphan Home. what was happening at the Jewish People's Institute, better known as the JPI, what was happening at the Hebrew Theological College. Our parents were active in all of them. My father was treasurer everywhere. They needed an honest man. At any rate, it was during the Depression years, and my father's business was back at the yards, and it was populated by people who came primarily from Poland, Lithuania, Germany, and Ireland. And we had a depression that was really severe, nowhere compared to the way it is today. We actually had bread lines. And women would come into the store and they were crying, telling my father about the sons who were young and healthy and after school had nothing to do, always getting into trouble with the police. My father and brothers finally decided to start teams, baseball teams, bowling teams, boxing matches, bought them uniforms, equipment, even bought trophies for the winning teams. But we all really know who the real honorees are. It's all of you, people who are involved in free trade all over the world. That is what makes this organization so important. We just heard Bill Osborn speak, who I think the world really needs. I would like to see him run for president.
Welcome back here on Taped with Rabbi Doug. I'm here with President of the Cook County Board, Tony Preckwinkle. Welcome to the show once again. We haven't seen you since the old debate before you were elected. We're so happy that things are really moving along with you here. And you are here at the American Israel Chamber of Commerce dinner tonight, honoring these people. What brings you here tonight?
Well, first of all, I was invited.
That's a good reason.
That's a good reason.
That's a good reason.
But you know,
but you didn't have to come, and you
no,
did.
No. You know, I'm a history teacher by profession, and I know from the foreign policy history of this country that America and Israel have been great allies and friends throughout the course of that nation's history from, I think, 1948. And in addition to being great allies, you know, Israel is one of the few democracies in its region, and I'm a big proponent of a democratic government, and I think that this country needs to be supportive of democracies around the world. So I wanted to come today to be part of this celebration and to honor both American businesses and Israeli businesses in this Chamber of Commerce.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so much for being with us, and wish you much more success in your endeavors to straighten out the county and put it together, which you have done just a great job so far. And want to thank once again President Tony Preckwinkle. Stay with us here on Tape with Rabbi Doug.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Taped with Rabbi Doug will be right back.
I'm Peter Yarrow of Peter Pollinary, sometimes known as Puff the Magic Dragon, and I'm hiding the great face of Rabbi Doug. Watch him. Rabbi Doug. It's a wonderful show.
And you're watching Tape with Rabbi Doug.
Hi, I'm Brian Huff, the president of Jewel-Osco, and I'm just so pleased to be able to congratulate Yakov Yarmove on his award this evening. We're so proud and so lucky to have him as part of our Jewel-Osco family, and we're just glad to be part of the events this evening.
He has caused inappropriate super value stores to come to be large and interesting, well-stocked sections of kosher foods, including those wonderful and unique Israeli foods and beverages, and those outstanding wines that are winning awards all over the world. In doing so, he has created substantial benefits for three major constituencies. Number one is us and the greater community, who find readily at hand in nearby appropriate super value stores and others have followed suit. A substantial and convenient stock of the merchandise that we're interested in finding. The second constituency that has benefited from Yakov's work is his employer Super Value. They didn't have him do this just because he felt like it. They did this because it's good business to be bringing in and selling Israeli products. And Yakov, in creating these sections, has created for Super Value a substantial, loyal, frequently visiting, big spending consumer base. So it's good business. And the third reason, what is the third reason? Oh yes. Oh yes, it's Israel. The working public in Israel finds employment at companies that are selling merchandise. The companies they work for are increasing their sales. They're making profits. And Israel itself is strengthened by having strong businesses, a population that has employment and a decent standard of living. And my privilege to present the award, the annual Business Leadership Award, to a man I have long admired, Yakov Yarmove. Yakov.
I'd like to thank the American-Israel Chamber of Commerce for bestowing this award, but most importantly, I would like to thank God for allowing me to be here today. I'm truly humbled by His many blessings. A couple months ago, Prime Minister of Israel, the Honorable Benjamin Netanyahu, addressed a session of the United Nations. In his opening comments, he referenced to the great Rabbi of Lubavitch. I too would like to reference the great Rabbi of Lubavitch, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson of blessed memory, known to many as the Lubavitcher Rebbe. In many of his public talks, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, when speaking about the land of Israel, would refer to the biblical verse, "It is a land in which God's eye is constantly in it, from the beginning of the year until the end of the year." I think we clearly understand the spirituality and the significance and importance spiritually and the many spiritual contributions that Israel brings to the world over, regardless of your nationality, regardless of your religion. Tonight, however, I wish to discuss the material contributions that Israel brings to the world. Last week, I had the opportunity to attend the 23rd Annual Kosher Fest Food Show in New Jersey, where hundreds of companies exhibited many kosher food and wine products, among those with a special focus on wines and foods from Israel. At this event, we had a special welcome reception for the new Israeli Economic Minister to North America, Neely Shalev. At this reception, several industry experts addressed the assembly, and a few poignant topics were discussed, some which I would like to share with you tonight. Firstly, it is clearly that the world regards Israel's contributions in the fields of medicine, agriculture, high-tech, of course, and military prowess, to name a few. But when it comes to culinary and to cuisine, Israel is not that well recognized. Well, we are starting to see that trend change. Israel is being recognized for its foods, and we'll speak shortly about why. Secondly, why are consumers purchasing Israeli products? The key word that was used was affinity. People have affinity towards Israeli products. Affinity because they live there, brings back memories of living there, they visited there, brings back memories of visiting. Affinity because many Americans want to support Israel, and the way they can support Israel is by purchasing food products and at the same time personally benefiting from them at the same time. However, I think everyone was in agreement that the future growth of Israeli food products could not come from affinity alone. It needed to come from more. It needed to come from quality. It needed to come from variety. And it needed to come from value. And I'm proud to say that no doubt in the last decade, I've personally been able to witness how Israeli food products have exploded on the American scene, both from a quality aspect, from a variety aspect, and of course from a value aspect. I encourage each and every one of you here tonight to continue the support of Israel by trying to purchase Israeli food products. We're proud to say that over 125 Jewel-Osco stores in the Chicagoland area carry some variety of Israeli food products, some more than others. And we're especially proud to boast our Taste of Israel sections that are full of authentic Israeli products, or as I like to call it, Dvarim Yisrael Amiti, products that bring you back to the homeland. Suffice it to say, none of this growth would be possible without the devotion and commitment of the kosher vendor community, many of who are here today, and many I think for taking a long trip here to attend this event. Additionally, the strong network of specialty food distributors have to be recognized here tonight, as without their efforts, these foods could not be found in thousands of locations coast to coast. And finally, I would like to thank my company, SuperValue, and particularly our Jewel-Osco team, for their support and commitment to serve our customers with a special emphasis on locally relevant items, like the many kosher and Israeli items we carry in our stores. I thank you all for taking up your busy schedule to be here tonight, and wish you a safe trip home. May God bless Israel and the United States of America.
That's it here from the Ritz-Carlton at the America-Israel Chamber of Commerce dinner. I want to thank you for being with us. I want to again wish Mazel Tov to Bee and to Yakov on their being honored. Remember, you can check out our website, www.tvrabbi.com, where you can also see our shows on the web. And if you want to email us, info@tvrabbi.com. Mazel Tov to our honorees. Thank you for being with us. Hope to see you next time right here on Tape with Rabbi Doug. Shalom, everyone.
This has been a Taped with Rabbi Doug production.